Money. Speaking of fakery, CEO of marketing group says he was offered a $20 million contract to organize anti-Trump protests. Oh, wow. The CEO of Crowds on Demand has said that he rejected an offer of $20 million to organize the Good Trouble Lives On protest taking place on July 17th. The CEO of Crowds on Demand, Adam Stewart, told reporters at News Nation, "We rejected an offer that's probably worth around $20 million. The value of the contract would have been worth around that much nationwide to organize huge demonstrations around the country. But personally, I just don't think it's effective." When News Nation addressed who had offered him the money, he did not say who it was that had approached him about organizing the protest and that he had concerns about violence, thought it would be ineffective, and did not want to be involved. Influence Watch has referred to Crowd on Demand as a marketing firm for protests. The group says on its website that they are the home for impactful advocacy campaigns, demonstrations, PR stunts, crowds for hire, and corporate events. And I'm going to go ahead and just say it's like all fake.
Yep, I think it's all fake too. And so anybody who's going out to see these, Good Trouble protests on Thursday, just know that it's all fake. And the last ones
Trouble. What are these supposed to be?
Good Trouble. It's what's his name? John
book.
Lewis. John Lewis. I think it's the anniversary of former Rep. John Lewis's death. And he was involved in the civil rights movement really heavily. And he always said that the best thing to do is get into good trouble. Like you can get good trouble. Like if you're protesting and fighting the power, that's good trouble. And if you're lobbing Molotov cocktails to, take down the Trump administration, he probably would have said that's good power too.
There's a book called Good Trouble Lessons from the Civil Rights Playbook, and it's by Christopher Nixon. And it's basically about using,
Right, but isn't it about the rep? Because I think this is the anniversary of his death.
Well, this particular, so I'm talking about the book. What you're talking about might be something.
But that's what he said.
Yeah.
They took Good Trouble from Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but it is about political activism, and
yeah, he would have been.
And essentially, good trouble is just trouble that breaking the law in ways that Democrats approve
justice.
of. Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if this means that we're winning or losing. Like if you have to pay $20 million for someone not to throw your protest for you, but at the same time, then it shows that they've got people who care so much that they're going to spend $20 million for people to.
They have a lot of.
I mean, look,
inside a riot.
Honestly, if there's people that are spending that much money on these kind of protests, and there's any kind of violence that erupts at them, the people that actually are spending money on these should be arrested. If they're inciting, technically inciting violence. They're spending money saying, "Look here, go to this place and make a bunch of trouble." And we're spending money on it. There's got to be some kind of legal repercussions.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. People get mad when I say this. I think the left is far more violent than the right by far.
They're clearly far more
way
violent.
more. People go, "Oh, it's a hot take." Dude, the BLM riots where they burned down Minneapolis with zero consequence, the defund police movements all across the country, burning down Portland, burning down Seattle, anytime, the hell, what's going on right now with the immigration stuff? They're destroying the cities right there. They got to bring the National Guard in.
All the attacks
when
on the
conservatives
ICE.
do anything violent, like January 6th, right? They say, "Oh, that's insurrection." They all went to jail. FBI had the biggest investigation ever. But when these BLM guys go crazy or Antifa goes wild, nobody gives a shit. They just allow it to happen.
Not only do they allow it, the people in, Democrats are doing things to support people that were arrested, try to get them bail money and such.
We just started going hard on these people once Pam Bondi got in, when they were firebombing the Teslas.
Yeah.
We just started finally putting these people, but the reason why they felt confident firebombing Teslas and destroying Teslas and doing all the things they did is because they got away with it for so long for the past 4 years.
I think Trump was sitting in the Oval Office and he was like, "Why do so many people like me? My approval rating should be way lower. Tell him Epstein's fake." Just like, approval rating drops by 2 points.
Like
only a little bit, to be fair.
People, I think today they just put a bunch of them while we're watching the news. I think a bunch of them got indicted, a bunch of these rioters. But people are shooting at the cops and stuff like that. This would be unheard of if conservatives were doing this. They'd be on the front line news. They went after the January 6th, or some guys didn't even go in the building. They got arrested. So, dude, the left is way more violent, man. And it wasn't until this administration came in that they're finally holding these dickheads accountable.
And they should be prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law. Absolutely.
They're finally getting hit with terrorism charges with the Tesla stuff.
Whatever happened to that dude that got falsely accused of shooting? You saw that in, what was it, in Utah? Mm-hmm. The No Kings protest. So this Antifa guy's wearing all black. He's got a rifle. He's walking down the sidewalk legally and peacefully when two of the liberals from the volunteer group organizing the protest drew their weapons on him for no reason and started shooting at him.
5501. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he was the Antifa guy that got shot at? Or
So Antifa guy is walking. So here's the main street. Everybody's walking north. Antifa. So everybody's walking this way. Antifa guy starts walking this way. I don't know if with a rifle, hanging down. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Open carry, totally legal. And then there's two liberals on this side of the street. They just drop pistols and start shooting. And one guy opens fire. And they shot and killed an innocent guy.
Aren't they all liberals?
Then the cops came in and arrested the Antifa guy.
They let him go.
Right. But did they drop the charges?
I think they dropped the charges. Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
So they even shoot each other.
Well, I mean, liberals and Antifa aren't the same group. They only fight in the same. Like, I don't want to get into that where, as we look to the left, we see Antifa and liberals and assume we're on the same side. But when you actually walk up to them, the Antifa guy's further behind them.
Okay.
The liberals are anti-gun.
Yeah.
Antifa is pro-gun.
Yeah.
So Antifa's pro-gun for themselves, but they'll at least advocate.
Yeah, because they believe in like violent resistance. Yeah.
Right. They'll take your guns from you at a moment's notice, but for the time being, they'll vote to protect your guns because they want them to.
Yeah.
So
animal rights. Let's kill everybody. You know, something like that.
I mean, it gets weird, man.
Yeah, they get crazy.
I mean, look, anything that we can do to wrap up the violent people that have been doing everything they can to destabilize the country, because that's the goal, is to destabilize the United States.
Where's our January 6th investigation, though?
You mean the May 29th riots where they firebombed the White House grounds and
right?
nobody did anything?
No, exactly. I mean, from the Summer of Love, even from the immigration protests.
I think they should have like a zero tolerance policy. If it was me, man, bro, these guys rioting on the street, like if you destroy one building, you riot violently one time, you're all going to fucking.
So Tucker had a great.
Got to send a message, man.
He had a great clip from his, I think it was a TPUSA speech, something recently, where he essentially asked, "Where is all the money that we spend on our military going?" And why why don't we use it to make Americans' lives better? I think this is a great way to do that. You know, Tom Cotton proposed this during the first administration, to send the 101st Airborne into New York City or into Chicago, wherever it's needed. Because
Posse Comitatus, what is it that they technically
Posse Comitatus.
Yeah,
but this doesn't matter. As long as they're defending federal property and not enforcing domestic law, it's allowed.
Yeah.
If we wanted to send,
well, they had them in the government building, the National Guard.
plenty of federal buildings around the country.
Of course. I do think there's an interesting economic argument to where if we just took the military spending and then spent it on communities or people, like it wouldn't help the economy. But certainly building weapons, I suppose it helps the economy in the sense that it maintains the petrodollar by a global hegemonic force. So,
well, I mean, but what if you
you
use the military to help revitalize legally or however, downtowns and cities, that.
And they're going to scream authoritarianism.
Of course,
the progressives are going to go crazy. They're going to be like, "Oh, fascism!" They love that word, fascism. That's what they always say.
I don't care.
I will trade showing people, a window into, the 90s or something or the 50s in exchange for, the chaos or whatever electoral consequences.
Yeah,
would
like
result.
to them, they're more scared of fascism than like their country being destroyed. Right? They're like, "Oh, fascism," and it's like, "Oh, okay, let's just go ahead and let all of our major cities go under fire."
That's what they want.
We're so scared.
That's what
you know what I
they
mean?
want.
So it's like, dude, it's ridiculous.
You think they want to see the destruction of our cities?
Yes.
I mean, I can tell you at least from Occupy Wall Street, that's what they wanted. From the ashes of the old, we shall build the new. They want to burn down the system. They think capitalism is evil. Hate
cops, hate law enforcement.
Right. They just literally hate the existence of the American order. And so they want to burn it all to the ground and then have a communist utopia where they will be on their farm teaching poetry.
Right.
Which, of course, they won't. They'll be in a gulag.
Right. And they don't get to have a farm.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like
The farm is the government's.
No land ownership.
because I watch a lot of liberal media just to kind of see what the other side is thinking. I think being in your own echo chamber is bad, and I kind of have I play a game. It's like, okay, let's see how long it takes until they say the word fascism, bro. They never make it past a minute.
Seconds.
Yeah, dude, literally, authoritarianism or fascism, within seconds they're screaming, "Oh," or imperialism. That's another one they love.
Yeah, and then fascism is just police.
Yeah. Yeah,
when the
that's literally what it
police-
is. The Gestapo,
Yeah.
these ICE agents are the Gestapo. They're like kidnapping people. No, that person has a file order removal.
Yeah.
They're an illegal alien. They need to be removed. The Gestapo, the secret police. And it's like, bro, what the hell, man?
Controlling who is or isn't allowed into a country is about the most mundane thing that a country can do, and they consider doing the bare minimum to actually be a country to be fascism. Because a lot of them are. They believe that there should be open borders. There shouldn't be any countries. There were people that were protesting on the border for a while that were saying things like no Trump, no wall, no USA at all. They don't believe in countries because they're like, oh, well, we're all people and we should all just get along. And they're
And not only that, they think like, oh, let's just like fast track all the people that are here illegally. Like, let's just reward them for coming here illegally. Like, you said you were at the event. There was a comedian, Rob Schneider, something like that.
Yeah, Rob Schneider.
He came in and said like, oh yeah, like we need to find a way to give like, because I think he's like I don't know what he is, maybe a centrist or a leftist. I don't know. But the point is, he said something like along the lines of like, we should find a way to fast track a lot of these like Mexican farmers so they can continue picking strawberries because Americans are going to do it. And I'm like, dude, like what the fuck? You're at TPUSA talking about more immigration. Get the fuck up out of here. He's like, well, and people started booing him. He's like, well, Americans aren't going to do it. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a huge
They'll
lie.
do it for a price.
This whole concept of like, oh, Americans won't do these jobs, so we need to give it to legal aliens. That is a bold-faced lie.
All right,
They
let's
say
play
that
a game.
to justify paying them less and bringing people here illegally.
Let's try this. Let's try it. Libby, would you pick strawberries in a field for $10 an hour?
If that was the only job I could get.
No. Right now, $10 an hour. I'll give you $10 an hour. Go pick strawberries.
No, I have a job.
Okay, well, hold on. What about $20 an hour?
I have a job.
What about $50 an hour?
Maybe.
All right, $100 an hour.
Probably. At least
All
in my
right.
spare time.
That's the point. When they say
be a
Americans won't do the
side
job,
hustle.
what they're actually saying is they want to pay people wages below
Way less, yeah.
way less than exactly. Slavery.
Oh, lie. Well,
modern
actually,
slavery.
yeah, because like this is why I'm like so against the H-1B visa, because they'll say, oh, we're bringing in high school workers. No, you're not. You're just using that as an excuse to like take jobs from Americans. You're saying something interesting about Microsoft.
Yeah, well, I think Microsoft just announced layoffs for
6,000 people or something.
9,000 Americans.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.